Imagine this. You download a new app, maybe a language app, maybe a fitness app, maybe something for meditation.
You open it. Day 1. Amazing. Everything feels fresh. You feel proud of yourself.
Day 2, still great. Day 3, good. You're building something.
Day 5. You're a little tired. It's raining outside. Your bed is warm. You skip it.
You tell yourself, I will do it tomorrow.
Tomorrow comes. You're busy. You skip again.
And then something strange happens.
You stop opening the app, but you don't delete it.
You move the app to the second page, behind the calculator, out of sight.
But not out of mind.
And every time you accidentally see it, you feel a small pinch, a quiet guilt.
Not big enough to make you open it, but big enough to bother you.
That feeling, that quiet weight, we've all been there.
And today, we're going to talk about what's really behind it and what to do about it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to English Podcast TV. I'm Chloe.
And I'm Mike. Today's big question, how to stay motivated. And notice the word, stay, not get.
Right. Getting motivated is easy. You watch a video, you feel inspired, you're ready to change your life.
And then Tuesday happens.
Tuesday always happens.
So if you've ever started something with a lot of energy,
And then watched that energy quietly disappear.
this episode is for you. And the answer is not what you expect.
But first, think of something you started this year, something you were excited about. Are you still doing it?
Hold that answer.
So, Mike, let me ask the big question. What is motivation?
Most people say it's a feeling, like excitement, like energy.
Yeah, like a spark inside you. You feel it, and then you act.
That makes sense, right? Feel first, then do.
It sounds right.
But here's the thing. It's actually backwards.
Wait, backwards? Really?
Psychologists have studied this for decades, and they've found something that surprises most people.
Okay, I'm listening.
Action comes first, motivation comes after.
Say more.
You don't wait to feel motivated. You do something small, and the doing, the action itself, creates the feeling.
So most people sit and think, I need to feel ready, then I'll start.
But it works the other way. You start, and then you feel ready.
That's a big shift. So motivation is not the fuel?
No, motivation is the exhaust.
Oh, so it's not what powers the engine.
No, it's what comes out after the engine starts running.
So if you're sitting and waiting to feel motivated,
You're waiting for exhaust from an engine that's turned off.
that's such a clear picture. You're never going to get it that way.
Never. And that's why so many people feel stuck.
Okay, so why do we wait? If action comes first, why do we just sit there?
Because waiting feels safe and starting feels risky.
Risky? Starting a workout is risky?
Not physically, emotionally. Think about it.
Okay.
If you start something, you might do it badly. You might fail. You might feel stupid.
Oh.
But if you never start, you never fail. Your perfect plan stays perfect in your head.
So not starting is actually a way to protect yourself.
Exactly. Psychologists call this avoidance behavior. Avoidance, that means staying away from something that feels dangerous.
And then something worse happens. The guilt arrives.
Because now you're not just avoiding the task, you're also feeling bad about avoiding it.
And guilt is heavy. It takes a lot of energy.
There's a name for what happens next. Do you know it?
The Zeigarnik effect.
Right. What is that?
Your brain holds on to unfinished tasks. They stay in your mind, like open tabs on a computer.
So the project you haven't started?
It's running in the background, draining your battery. Even when you're watching TV, you can't fully relax.
Exactly. Doing nothing is not rest, not when your brain has 20 open tabs.
So you're tired, you haven't done anything, and that makes you feel even worse.
It's a trap, a cycle. No action leads to guilt. Guilt drains energy. Less energy means even less action.
And most people blame themselves. They say, I'm lazy, I have no discipline, something is wrong with me.
But it's not laziness.
No?
No, it's a pattern. And the good news about patterns, they can be changed.
But there's a catch that almost everyone gets wrong.
What's the catch?
You can't think your way out of this pattern. You can't plan your way out. You have to act your way out, even if the action is tiny.
But here's what's interesting. Two people can be in the same trap, same guilt, same cycle, and one of them breaks free.
Why? What's different about that person?
Psychologists have a name for it: locus of control. Locus, that means place. So it's about where you believe control lives.
Say more.
Imagine two people, same Monday morning, same alarm, same cold room. Neither wants to get up.
Okay.
Person one thinks, I'll start when I feel ready, maybe next week when I have more energy.
They're waiting for something outside to change.
Person two thinks, I don't feel like it, but I can do 2 minutes, just 2.
Oh, same morning, same tiredness, but a completely different voice inside.
Right. The first person waits for the world to change. The second changes one small thing themselves.
It's like standing in the rain. One person says, I can't go anywhere until the rain stops.
And the other person picks up an umbrella.
The rain is the same, but the response is different.
And here's the good part. Locus of control is not fixed. It's not something you're born with.
So you can move it?
Yes. Every time you take a small action, even 2 minutes, you're training your brain. You're telling it, I have control here.
In other words, every small action moves the locus inside, closer to you.
And that's why the techniques we're about to share are so important. They're not just about productivity.
They're about changing where you believe control lives, and that changes everything.
Let me paint a picture. Imagine this.
Okay.
You signed up for an online course 3 months ago. Maybe photography, maybe cooking, maybe business. Doesn't matter.
You were excited. You watched the first 2 lessons. You took notes in a new notebook.
And then, 1 week, life got busy. You skipped it.
The next week, still busy. You told yourself, I'll catch up on the weekend.
The weekend came, you watched a movie instead.
Now it's been 3 months. The course is still there, still in your email inbox.
And every time you see the reminder email,
You feel a knot in your stomach. A knot, that tight, uncomfortable feeling inside.
and you close the email without reading it every single time.
And a voice in your head says, see, you never finish anything.
That voice is quiet, but it's always there.
The course becomes something you avoid, like a room with the door closed.
Now, here's the other version.
Same course, same busy week, but this time on Sunday morning, you make a coffee, you sit down, and you open it.
And you don't watch a full lesson.
No, you watch 5 minutes, just 5, and something happens.
The knot gets smaller.
Yeah, because you did something. Not everything, not even a lot, just something.
And suddenly, the course doesn't feel like a monster anymore.
It feels like a door you can walk through whenever you're ready.
In other words, 5 minutes changed the course from an enemy into an option.
And that's the shift. That small action broke the cycle.
So let's talk about how to make those small actions easier. 4 techniques, and the first one, you can use it today.
I love that. Let's go.
This one is called the 2-minute door.
2 minutes? That seems too short to matter.
That's exactly why it works. Here's the idea. When you don't want to start something, just do it for 2 minutes.
Only 2?
Only 2. Set a timer if you want. And when it rings, you have full permission to stop. No guilt.
But does anyone actually stop after 2 minutes?
That's the beautiful part. Most people don't, because starting is the hardest part.
Once you're moving, it's easier to keep moving.
Right. Think of a heavy door. It takes real effort to push it open.
But once it's open, you just walk through. Easy.
2 minutes is how you push the door open. That's all.
I really like this because it removes the pressure completely. Study for 1 hour. That feels like climbing a mountain.
But open the book for 2 minutes, that feels like nothing.
And nothing is easy.
Now, the common mistake. This is important.
What is it?
Some people use the 2 minutes as a trick. They tell themselves just 2 minutes, but secretly they plan to do an hour.
Oh no, and then it stops working.
Exactly. That breaks the trust with yourself. The rule must be real. 2 minutes with real permission to stop.
The permission is what makes it work. Without the permission, it's just a lie, and your brain knows it's a lie.
Okay, number 2. This one is yours.
Yes, I call it the evidence wall, and it comes from real research.
I'm curious. Tell me.
So, a researcher named Teresa Amabile studied motivation at work for years. She wanted to know what's the number one thing that keeps people going.
Money? Recognition? Promotion?
No, small progress, tiny everyday wins, just the feeling that you moved forward a little bit.
Huh, that's really surprising. Not big achievements?
No, just small steps. But here's the problem.
We don't notice them.
Exactly. We forget what we did. We only see what we haven't done yet. We only look ahead, never behind.
That is so true.
So the evidence wall is simple. Every day, write down one small thing you did. Just one.
Like what?
I studied for 10 minutes. I went for a short walk. I read 2 pages. Put it on a sticky note. Stick it on your wall. Or write it in a notebook.
So after 1 week, you have 7 notes.
After a month, 30. And on a bad day, when you feel like you're going nowhere.
You look at the wall.
And the evidence is right there. You can see it. You can count it.
It's like a photo album, but for your effort, not your results.
Because effort is what you control. And when you see it on your wall, the progress becomes real. That's what keeps you going.
Before we get to number 3, if this is helping, a quick like really helps us reach more learners. Okay, let's keep going. Technique 3. I call this one the energy map.
This one is yours. I'm curious about this.
So most people plan their day by time. I'll exercise at 7 p.m. I'll study at 9 p.m.
Right. Seems logical. What's wrong with it?
Nothing, if 9 p.m. is when you have energy. But what if it's not?
Oh.
What if 9 p.m. is when your brain is finished for the day, when you can barely keep your eyes open?
Then you'll never do it, and you'll blame yourself for being lazy.
But it wasn't laziness. You just put the task in the wrong time.
Like putting a plant in a dark room and wondering why it doesn't grow?
Exactly. The plant isn't broken. It just needs sunlight, and you need energy.
So the energy map helps you find your sunlight?
Yes. For 1 week, just notice your energy levels, not your schedule, your energy. When do you feel sharp? When do you feel slow? When does your brain feel clear?
And maybe mornings are best for some people, afternoons for others.
Everyone is different. There's no right answer. But once you see your own pattern, put the hard thing where the energy is.
But wait, I want to push back a little here.
Go ahead.
Not everyone can choose when to do things. You have a job, you have a family, your schedule is not always yours.
That's fair. You can't always pick the perfect time.
So then what? The energy map doesn't work?
No, it still works, but you use it differently. You don't move the task, you move something else.
What do you mean?
If your only free time is 9 p.m., protect the energy at 9 p.m. Maybe that means a shorter task before it. Maybe it means no screens for 20 minutes first.
So you can't always choose the time, but you can prepare the energy.
Exactly. The map still helps even when the schedule is fixed, but most people never think about energy at all.
They just put the hard thing wherever there's free time.
And free time is usually tired time.
So they fight their own body. It's like swimming against the current.
But if you swim with the current, everything feels easier. Don't fight your body, work with it.
Okay, last one, and this might be the most powerful of all, the identity sentence.
Oh, I really like this one. Go ahead.
So most of us think about motivation in terms of goals. I want to learn English. I want to lose weight. I want to read more.
Right. Goals are important. What's wrong with them?
Goals live in the future, and the future is far away. It's hard to feel connected to something that hasn't happened yet.
Okay, so what's the alternative?
Identity, who you are right now, today, not who you want to become, who you already are.
And the identity sentence is?
You say to yourself, I am someone who, and you finish it with something small and true.
Give me an example.
I am someone who studies for 10 minutes a day.
Not, I am someone who speaks perfect English.
No, that's a goal. It's far away. It's not true yet. And if you say something your brain knows isn't true, it rejects it.
But I am someone who studies every day. That can be true right now.
Exactly. And every time you do it, the identity gets stronger. It's like adding one brick to a wall.
In other words, every small action is evidence, proof that you are that person.
Yes, it connects to the evidence wall. Each day, another brick, another piece of proof.
I think the common mistake here is making the sentence too big, too ambitious.
Right. I am someone who runs 5 kilometers every morning. That's a mountain, not a sentence.
But I am someone who puts on running shoes.
Just the shoes? That's the whole sentence?
Just the shoes. You put them on. That's it. The running will follow. Eventually.
I love that. Start with the shoes. Everything else comes later.
Okay, let's put this together. A quick practice. Chloe, give me a scenario.
All right. Imagine this. It's Sunday evening. You had the whole weekend to study English. You didn't open your book once.
Okay, I feel that knot. The guilt.
The voice says, you wasted the whole weekend. What do you do?
2-minute door. I open the book. Just 2 minutes. I read 1 paragraph.
Timer rings. You can stop.
I don't stop. I read 2 more paragraphs. Maybe 5 minutes total.
And then?
Evidence wall. I write on a sticky note, Sunday, read for 5 minutes. I put it on my wall.
The voice says, 5 minutes? That's nothing.
But the sticky note says something different. It says, I showed up.
Identity sentence?
I am someone who opens the book, even on Sundays.
And next week, the energy map. Find the time when your brain is sharpest. That's when the book opens easiest.
4 tools, all connected. And listener, you can do this too. Think about your week. What's one thing you avoided?
Picture it right now. Now picture yourself doing just 2 minutes of it.
Door, wall, map, sentence.
Small actions, big shift.
Okay, now let's be honest for a minute.
Uh-oh.
What if someone tries all 4 of these? The 2-minute door, the evidence wall, the energy map, the identity sentence, and they still have a bad week.
That's a real question, and we'd be dishonest if we didn't talk about it.
Because bad weeks are real. They happen to everyone.
Some weeks, everything falls apart. You're sick, you're stressed, work is crazy, life gets complicated.
And the danger is the story you tell yourself after.
I failed. I'm back to 0. I knew this wouldn't work.
But here's what I want everyone to hear. Motivation is not a straight line going up.
What does it look like?
A wave. It goes up, it comes down, it goes up again.
And the down part is not failure.
No, it's part of the wave. But here's the key.
What?
Some people, when the wave goes down, they quit. They delete the app. They cancel the course.
And then the wave can't come back up because they ended the story.
Right. But if you just hold on, if you ride the low part, the energy returns. It always does.
So a bad week is not the end.
No, it's the middle. And the middle is supposed to be messy.
That takes so much pressure off. You don't need to be perfect.
No, you just need to not quit.
And after a bad week, don't try to catch up. Just use the 2-minute door again. Start tiny.
Because catching up feels like punishment, and punishment kills motivation. 2 minutes feels like a fresh start.
A fresh start, not a perfect record. And one more thing.
I had a bad week is a fact. I'm a failure. That's a story.
And remember the locus rule. I'm a failure puts the control outside. You gave all the power to one bad week.
But I had a bad week, I'll try again tomorrow. That's the locus inside. You still have control.
Same week, different voice, different result.
Okay, before we go, let's walk through some important words from today.
7 words. Let's do it.
First word, motivated.
Motivated means having the desire and energy to do something. You feel ready. You feel like trying.
Example, after talking to my friend, I felt really motivated to try again.
Or, I wasn't motivated at first, but after 2 minutes, the feeling came.
Say it with me, motivated.
Motivated.
Next word, guilty.
Guilty means feeling bad because you did something wrong or because you didn't do something you should have.
Example, he felt guilty about skipping his workout.
Or, I feel guilty every time I see that app on my phone.
Try it, guilty.
Guilty.
Next word, avoid.
Avoid means to stay away from something on purpose. You don't want to face it.
Example, she avoids checking her email on weekends.
Or, I've been avoiding that conversation for weeks.
Repeat after me, avoid.
Avoid.
Next word, exhaust.
Exhaust is the gas that comes out of an engine. We used it as a metaphor today. Motivation is the exhaust, not the fuel.
Example, you can see the exhaust from the car on cold mornings.
Or, don't wait for the exhaust. Start the engine first.
Say it with me, exhaust.
Exhaust.
Next word, progress.
Progress means moving forward, getting closer to where you want to be. Even one small step counts.
Example, I didn't notice my progress until I looked at my wall.
Or, small progress is still progress.
Try it, progress.
Progress.
Next word, locus.
Locus means place. In psychology, locus of control means where you believe control lives, inside you or outside you.
Example, when I blamed the weather, my locus was outside.
Or, moving your locus inside is the first step to change.
Repeat after me, locus.
Locus.
And the last one, identity.
Identity means who you are, your sense of self, the beliefs you hold about the kind of person you are.
Example, small daily actions shape your identity over time.
Or, my identity sentence changed how I see myself.
Say it with me, identity.
Identity.
So, here's your challenge for today, and it's simple.
We want you to say one sentence out loud right now, wherever you are.
The identity sentence, I am someone who, and you finish it. Something small, something true.
I'll go first. I am someone who starts with 2 minutes.
That's a good one. Here's mine. I am someone who shows up, even on tired days.
Now your turn. Say it out loud, not in your head. Out loud. Let your voice hear it.
It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be impressive. It just needs to be yours.
And if you want, write it in the comments. We'd really love to read your identity sentence.
That's one of the best parts of doing this.
If you enjoyed today's episode, hit that like button. Share it with a friend who needs a little push.
And subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.
Okay, let's end where we started.
Remember that app on your phone, the one you moved behind the calculator?
Open it tonight, just 2 minutes.
Because motivation is not a fire that burns on its own.
It's a match. You have to strike it.
And tomorrow,
You strike it again.
see you next time.
Bye, everyone.